Welcome to the M Factor Live. Another live class that didn't go according to plan. I hope you are still here. My name is Em and I welcome you to my daily yoga live teachings. It seems like everybody is streaming and we are breaking the internet. So YouTube didn't want to let me in, but I hope you can see me now and I hope it's all working. So my apologies for the delay. I have no idea. Some things are out of our control. YouTube couldn't create the stream, so now excellent connection. For whatever reason it works and I'm happy to be here in front of you. Whoever doesn't know me, my name is Em and I teach next level yoga classes that help you take your yoga practice to a deeper level, not just physical yoga. I would love to be able to help you understand why we practice what we practice, how we practice more effectively, more efficiently. I hope that my teachings can make you think about yoga in a little bit different way. I hope that you can get curious to ask questions and make your yoga practice personal. While we have flooded the internet right now with online streams and videos, with fitness exercises, and I think a lot of people enjoy this instead of sitting at home because we can't leave our homes. It's wonderful, but imagine how wonderful it would be if you are not dependent on somebody creating this for you. Imagine you could roll out your mat and imagine you had a dedicated personal yoga practice that is challenging you to grow, that is helping us go past our own personal limitation, that is grounded in knowing yourself. Yeah? Very often the classes that we offer, even my teaching today, is a little bit somewhat generic because I don't know who you are and I can't gear my teachings towards your needs. However, we can learn from it and we can start to think a little bit deeper. We can hopefully evaluate and assess ourselves a little bit more, because if you start somewhere and you don't know where you're starting, we don't know where we're going. Yeah? Okay, so today's class is about balance. And I think this is another important topic. I have been trying to teach the past week topics that might help us within this time that we're living right now, the coronavirus time, and most of us being at home, hopefully being well enough to be able to practice and get some techniques and tools that make us think throughout the day about the choices that we're making and how we are approaching who we are in these days. I think times of crisis always shows who we truly are. There is very little hiding because this is a kind of like a survival mode, and we go into these innate programs. And I think if we have trained ourselves and practiced to be in programs that allow us to deal with these situations better, I think we are able to sustain and resist the urge to be sucked in all the energy that we can feel is around us. So I hope these classes can give you a tiny little bit of space. Yeah. This is not a 15-minute quick fix. This is a full-length class with a lot of teachings. I hope that if you watch this, and you don't have time, that you can come back to it at a later time with a little bit more space in your life, because I believe that there are many things that have the ability to change your life if we just listen, and if we have the space mentally, emotionally, physically, and in our life to receive this. Yeah. All right. So today's topic is balance. And I think when people think about balance in yoga, they think about tree pose or Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, and some postures where we have to balance on our legs or our arms. I want you to know that these postures are wonderful because they are complex and they challenge our nervous system to show up in different ways than when we practice on both legs or equal balance. In yoga, we have a lot of postures that are more complex, where one leg, one arm is doing something different than the other leg, the other arm. But these physical postures are also metaphors. They are metaphors with how we deal with the situation in front of us, in this case our asanas on the mat, how we deal with them mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually. Who am I when my life, my posture in this case, is not balanced, when I have to show up and deal with an uneven or a uncertain ground beneath me. And this is really the time that we are in today. Energetically, these days are especially challenging because we all emotionally and mentally can feel that the ground beneath us is not as stable as it normally is when we feel a lot more certainty and safety. So times of uncertainty, when we don't know exactly what to expect, can feel like as if the ground is not as stable below us. Yeah? And the way how you practice and approach your balancing postures on the mat in your yoga practice is really a mirror to how you approach difficult, unbalanced, and wobbly times in our life as well. How we deal with our relationships when they're not as secure, how we deal with showing up for ourselves when we don't have a clear vision, when we are not certain what is going to happen. Most of us get frustrated. Most of us feel like giving up, or feel like immediately looking for stable ground. But in some situations, like right now, we can't find the stable ground just in an instant. It is still uncertain. It was uncertain yesterday, and it was uncertain the day before. And how do we deal with that? That's really the next step in what our yoga asanas can teach us on our mat. Yeah, never forget that everything we do on our mat is simply a tool, a helper to discover who we truly are and to forge a path of where we want to go, because that means that I live the life I want to live, and I don't live the life according to what the situation on the outside around us requires me to react to. So I invite you today to take a deep breath in, and we let go of everything that is swirling in our mind and in our heart, all the things that are part of our experience now. We are letting go for just a moment and creating space around us. Maybe your physical space is very small, and that's okay, because when your eyes are closed, you can feel how it would feel to have physical space around you. And that physical space translates into our mind not having to fight, not having to crunch and be small, not having to create a tunnel vision, but actually be able to expand our vision a little bit mentally. And space also helps us emotionally, where we can breathe, where I'm not restricted anymore, where I can feel that the breath can expand. And when breath is expansive and calm and long and wide, we have a lot more safety. We have a lot more clarity and confidence, because you can feel the expansion. One of the very interesting things right now in the coronavirus is that it affects our respiratory system, and it alters the way how we are able to breathe. And that's frightening, and that is limiting our life in a way where we can feel smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until we have no capacity to breathe on our own, and we need help with that. And so think about it, what that means for us in our practice right now. I want you to see if you can look for that expansive breath right now while you sit here and breathe with me. And you might feel how your breath becomes clear and stable. This is the breath that we need when we balance. And this is the breath that we will take into our physical practice today. All right, let's come into a standing position. Extend your legs out for just a moment. Rotate your feet. Take another few deep breaths in. Good. And actually, let's come onto our feet first and place our heels onto a blanket if you like, and come into a nice squatting position just for a moment. For everyone who's squatting is a little bit more challenging, you can always put a blanket or even your blocks behind your heels. And what it will do is it will help you feel how stable this squat feels when we are actually able to squat. So for most of us, when the heels are not on the ground, take your blanket. Sometimes just a couple of inches lift off the blanket is very, very helpful to experience the stability in a squat. Yeah? And there are many exercises that can help us improve the squat. But in that moment in time, right now in here, if it's too hard to be on our heels, then I want us to take a blanket and place it below our heels. And it creates a lot more stability. Wonderful. And then slowly we come onto our hands and shift our body weight to the right knee and to the left knee. And it creates a little bit of movement in our hip joint, in our back, in our sacral area. It opens up the hips. So see when you let the right knee spread out to the front, how the left knee can open out to the side, and then other side. So it creates a wide angle of movement in our hip joint. And then slowly from here, come back into a squat. Feel if it feels a little bit more stable, and then come into a standing position. Good. Extend. Shake the legs out for one moment. Good. All right. So we'll take the blanket away. Have your blocks there. We might need them, maybe not. We'll see. All right. So the last few classes, I have talked about the 4 corners of the feet. I'm going to repeat this one more time. The big toe mound, the small toe mound, and 2 points in the heel. So this is important that we know that these 4 corners are actually the grounding place that our feet are connecting to the ground. And I know that usually we don't think about our feet a lot, but for balancing, it is very important that you know that your feet are the brick, the first layer of bricks from which we build up our posture. Yeah, I think this is a good metaphor. If our feet are not strong enough, if our feet are already in a position where they are not allowing our knees and hips and as a follow through our spine to be able to lengthen from it, if the feet are already not in a good place, then everything is going to suffer. Yeah. So I believe one of the reasons why people lose their ability to balance, or while they feel more unstable over time, if we don't train ourselves, has to do with the feet. And I think we often forget that. Yeah? There are many, many exercises that you can do to get your feet in a better place. Today, I want you to focus on one thing. We don't want the body weight to be on the inside of our ankles, the inside edges of our feet. We don't want them to be on the outside edges either. So today, only focus on squaring the sides of your feet forward, but try to find a position where you are equally balanced with your feet. Yeah, and this is not so easy because most of us have one position. This is our autopilot. This is our habitual foot position, and all the people that I have observed, most of us, we roll in. Yeah, we are standing on the inner edges. And that already, if I'm standing on my inner edges when I have both feet on the ground, I don't feel disbalanced. But as soon as I lift up one leg and I'm standing on my inner edges, I can feel how the forces that are transmitted just by holding my body weight through this one leg is much more wobbly when I am not equally balanced and when my feet are not strong enough to keep me in that position. So the first exercise that I want us to do is lift the toes off the ground and lower them back down. And we lift the toes off the ground and lower them back down. And then see if you can only lift the big toe and lower it back down. And again, big toe lifts up as high as possible and lower it back down. Now see if you can lift the other 4 toes up and the big toe down. And the big toe up. And the other 4 toes up. And again, big toe up. And the other 4 toes up. Yeah? So what we in yoga often do, we do a lot of exercises where we wiggle our feet and where we have a lot of movability in our toes, because just like the angle of your ankle, the toes are super important for our balance. Yeah? So this is worth it to learn and to practice. And I do this in my inner circle. We go into depth and we go into exercises of strengthening our feet into a better place. All right, so now here's one more thing. The knees. Yeah? A lot of us like to stand with the knees extended. So we are extending the knees and we are hanging in our knee joint, which means I am fully extending and I'm resting in my knee joint rather than activating the muscles of my legs. That's what we don't want. So if you are somebody, if you know that your knees are often hyperextended, I want you to think that you are very slightly bending the knees very slightly, but actually drawing the back part of your legs. You're activating very slightly the back part of your legs a little bit. So these would be the hamstrings. So activate the back part of your legs rather than just bending the knees. Yeah. There is this instruction in yoga classes, micro bend your knees, and I have used this many years ago as well. But we know today that it is important that we learn to activate parts of our body. And in balancing, this is even more important. Yeah? So instead of just bending the knees, if you have your knees hyperextended, I want you to see if you can contract the back parts of your legs and a little bit your glutes as well. So that already gives me a lot more activation in my legs. All right. And so from here, the first thing that I want us to do is just shift the weight and stand on that leg. See if you can create the same lift and alignment that we had when we were standing on both feet. See if you can have this when you're standing on one leg. Good. Just for a moment. Now, I want to bring focus on the left hip. So imagine that these muscles here on the outside of the hip are super important for my balancing. So keep standing on that one leg. You're still with me, standing on that one leg, yeah? If you are wobbly, if you're having to move to stay stable, do it. Absolutely, yeah? The way how I stand here is just the result of many years of training. Do not worry about that, yeah? If you are moving a little bit more, your body is figuring out how to stand on this one leg. So first focus, our hip. Second focus is our core. Can you activate your core in here? Can all of this, while I breathe and stay upright, be engaged? Do you know how to do that? Yeah? Good. Can the head and the crown of the head, can it lift up and elongate? We're still standing on this one leg. Do you feel how the foot is working? Do you feel how there are muscles in the shin, in our ankle, in our foot, how they all have to show up, yeah? Okay, other side, here we go. So this, as easy as this looks like here right now, is a fabulous exercise, yeah? A lot of times we do all kinds of things. We're going to do this in a moment, but we forget that this is the foundation. Can you stand on your leg? Is your foot, is your shin, your calf muscle, your leg, your core, upper core center, is it strong enough? Does it know what to do? Have you trained yourself? Before we go into all kinds of other postures, can you just stand on one leg for an extended period of time? Yeah, I know it sounds simple, but who can? Yeah, good. Glutes engaged and release. All right, deep breath. One more time. Right leg. We're standing on the left leg. So here we go. We're standing on the left leg. The right leg is lifted. Okay. Again, hips, core, sternum, back of the crown of the head. Good. And then slowly see if you can raise the right knee up. How far can we raise it up and hold? Good. Can you take the hands around the knee and lift it up a little bit higher? Keep standing. Good. And then slowly from here, let the arms go and keep the right knee where it is, if possible. Hold it there. Good. And hold. Wonderful. And slowly from here, lower back down. Good. Other side. Switch to the right leg. Find your position first. Left leg is off the ground. Remember your hips. So we're standing really, really tall. Yeah? My right hip muscles here are really engaged. Notice if your right hip is kind of like, if we're hanging with our hip joint in the socket. I want this to engage. Yes, can you feel that? You should be able to feel this. So we're really targeting certain parts of our body. Okay, left leg lifts up, come as high. Where is the height that we can hold without your arms? And then hands around the knee and lift up and hold. Are you still with me? Keep balancing. Good. In and exhale. If you fall, catch yourself. Try to not let the left foot be on the ground. And here comes one more thing. Can we extend that standing leg? Can it be all the way extended? Yes. And slowly let go. And lower back down. Yeah. Yeah, do you feel it? A lot of muscles. So now, are the muscles tensing up? Can we create balance in these positions? Yeah? Okay. So now, next exercise. We're lifting up onto the balls of our feet. So this is a wonderful strengthening exercise for our feet, ankles, and calf muscles. So we are not letting the body weight come out to the outer small pinky toe point, but we are lifting up equally onto the big toe mount and the small toe mount. And so now, can you go into a position in mountain pose where you lift and lower without with control, without falling out, without too much wobbly there, and slowly lowering down. Lift up, spread your toes wide, and lower back down. Now, one more time. The hip muscles are engaged. They keep my pelvis stable, which is the biggest bone in my body. And then I contract my core, rib cage and hip bones. I'm bringing them together while I breathe. And lower. Good. And again, lift. Good. And lower. Last time. Do you feel the calf muscles burning? Yeah? Lift. And lower. Good. Very, very good. Slowly inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the knees. Round your back forward just one time. And slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Slowly roll up, and back to center. All right. We're standing on the right leg again. Lift up our left knee. Good. If you like to open the arms, open the arms. See if you can rotate the left knee out without moving our hip bones. They are still looking forward and back. Good. And again, out slowly and back. Good. Keep the knee a little bit higher than 90-degree angle. Open up. Keep balancing. Back to center. And 5. Good. Now, what the body wants to do, keep going. The body wants to turn. Don't let it turn. The hips stay completely square looking forward. The knee only goes out to where our external rotation allows us to go. Back to center and shift to the other side. Slow shift. Body weight on the left leg. First find that alignment, lift up. Deep breath in, hip, outer hip muscles, core, upper core center, and go. 1, and back to center. Open up as wide as you can, as wide as you can. Good. If you have to move a little bit, move. Catch yourself. Do not let the right foot come to the ground. Good. 4. Keep breathing. Now see if we can balance in this position and breathe. Can you still keep your hip forward, or is the body trying to make it a little bit easier? Do not allow this, yeah? Our challenge in yoga is to develop so much body awareness that even while we practice, we can challenge ourselves to not do the easier part, yeah? Balancing is difficult for me to teach it too, so I sometimes have to catch myself. All right, deep breath. Now, so this was movement out and in. Let's do one more where we create a movement with our leg that is moving in a number 8. So kind of like this infinity sign, number 8. I want you to see if you can stand on the right leg, extend your arms, and start to rotate the hip, the knee, the leg in a way where it describes the number 8. Yes, good. So in and out and in and out. Very good. Feel your feet. Feel the standing leg working. In and out. Very good. In and out. One more time. In and out. Good. If this was challenging, don't worry. We'll practice that, yeah? This is something that needs to be trained, and you can definitely train yourself. Other side, right leg lifts up. Remember, we're setting ourselves up in a really aligned position here that creates a good form. And then we describe the number 8 with the knee in front of us. Good. 1, 2. So wave-like motion. We internally rotate the knee, cross it over, and externally rotate it. Internally rotate it, externally. Good. In, and external. Now, do you have an awareness for your core right now here? If you feel this, is it still engaged or is it relaxed? Can we do this with our arms here, or do we open our arms a little bit easier? See what a difference it is? Yeah, very good. Challenge yourself. Couple of more. 1, last time, and 2. Open up. Yeah, looks like nothing, right? And release. Looks like nothing, but your legs should be really warm now, and you should feel this in your hip joint, in your glute area, in your core. There was a lot of movement going on while the body tried to stabilize on one leg. Yeah? Very, very good. So here comes one more in standing position, and then we're going down. All right, take a deep breath in. So we are lifting up the left leg lifts up. Open out to the side. Okay, so open up the arms. So now what I want us to do is to turn the head to the left and back to center, and turn the head to the right and back to center. And you might notice this already, yeah? Turn the head to the left, how hard this is and how much more we have to balance when we turn our head back to center and to the other side and back to center. Good. And release. Oh, all right, other side. I think I said it wrong, left or right. Don't worry, we'll do it again. So we're standing on the left leg. We are rising up the right one. I'm your mirror. We are rotating the leg open, and just hold it there. Just hold it there. Open up the arms. So instead of putting the leg in here and kind of like letting it rest there, I don't want you to rest there. I want you to hold. Yes. Okay, ready? We're turning the head to the left first. Slowly. To the left. And back to center. And to the right. Back to center. Hang in there with me. and to the left. Keep breathing. Back to center and to the right. Back to center and release. Wow. Yeah? So, all of these things, do you see this, are very, very challenging. And it is worth it to practice these things in a little more depth. So it's not enough to just do it once or here and there in random classes. If you want to improve your balance, this is something that you need to do every day. Yeah? Maybe a 15-minute routine every day that you keep focusing on these things. I think one of the reasons why a lot of people physically stay on a plateau and really don't get better over time is because we're not practicing enough specific things to give us the time to progress. Yeah? So the best thing you can do for your yoga practice is to practice these things that seemingly don't look like yoga, right? Somebody would say, well, this is not yoga. Well, yes, it is a preparation for me to balance better. So when I then go into tree pose or do anything else, I am able to stand with much more grace and clarity because my muscles are prepared for this. Yeah? So the more you learn to prepare yourself for the asanas, the better your yoga practice will be. Yeah? Okay, so let's go down to the ground. We're going to do a couple of more things on the ground today. All right. So we come onto our hands and knees, tabletop position. Open all 10 fingers wide and just slowly roll into a little circular movement over your knees and your wrists in one direction and the other direction. Good. Create a bit of movement in your hips, your spine, your wrists. We're preparing them lightly. Just a quick preparation. If you want to learn more about these preparatory poses, I teach all of this in my inner circle, and we dive deeply into it so that you don't always need me to tell you what to do, but you know what is right for you. Okay. Tabletop position on all fours. So, bird dog, one of my favorite exercises. I've been teaching it for a very long time, and I still think it's one of those classic positions that are super important for everybody. Yeah? Square the hips. Engage your core, lengthen the back of the crown of the head, and have a really stable position here. The right heel is pressing into the back behind, and I'm lifting up my right leg. I'm lifting it up without arching my back, without tilting my hip. So this is really important, yeah? Square the hips, posteriorly pelvic tilt your pelvis, shorten your core, and lift the leg. Good. And then the left arm reaches forward and hold that position. Deep breath. Square the hips some more. See if you can engage your core a little bit more. And release. Other side. Don't rest here. Left leg extends. Square the hips. Push yourself up a little bit higher. Lift up the left leg. Good. And then slowly right arm with the palm facing to the left side, rise up and see if you can, without lifting the shoulder and torquing the whole body, can you just raise the arm? And bring the rib cage in, raise the arm and hold. Again, looks like nothing much, right? And slowly come back. Good, child's pose. Exhale. Slowly lift back up. From here, we are lifting up the right arm and bring it back behind us and hold that position. And now lift up the left leg and extend. And slowly release. Other side. Left arm lifts up.
Hug it behind your back. Hips and shoulders are square to the ground. Extend the right leg. Shorten your core and lift up and hold. And slowly release back. Wonderful. Child's pose. Stretch out your hands, wrists, back, and hips. And slowly lift back up. Okay, curl the back toes under. And lift up the knees. Hover over the ground just for a moment. So we're not lifting up. It's not down dog. We're not lifting up the tailbone. We're staying in this really, really stable plane, which is a table position, and lift up our knees a couple of inches off the ground and hover. Good. And now see if you can lift up one arm and place it out to the back behind you. And other side. Good. Don't shift your full body weight and go sideways. Stay in this position where the shoulders and hips are square. And again. Good. I hope you're still with me. And again. And hold. Square hips, square legs. Can you hold this for a moment? Back to center. Bend the knees and release. There's so many different examples, yeah, to create strength in disbalanced position. Good. And slowly lift back up. Okay, from here, extend the right leg and turn the left hip to the left side behind us. So from here, we're lifting up the foot and placing it into a 90-degree angle and stacking ourselves into a side kneeling position where the left arm is on the ground, where our hip is in one long line with my leg. We're stacking my hip on top of the other hip and we're lifting up. Good. This is a really, really nice, expansive, lengthened yoga position. Good. And other side. Let's do this on the other side. We are coming from all fours. Good. Actually, let me show it this way so you can see it in this length. Extend the left leg. Bring the right knee behind you. So from here, we'll lift up the right foot, turn it behind us. And then ground the left heel and come into a side position. Most of us tend to do this where we are in an angle. But what I want you to do is really press the hip forward and contract your abdominal core so that you can come into this beautiful stretch. Now the left foot is grounded into the ground. Yes. And slowly back to center. So let's add up one more layer in this position. Right leg slowly turn. Left leg 90-degree angle. Turn. Right heel to the ground. Lift up. Good. And now shift your hips again. One long line first. Can you lengthen your spine a little bit more? Good. And then lift up the right leg. And hold this position. Now, don't bring the toes out. The heel is leading the way. The heel. Now, the bottom wants to stick out. Don't let it. Bring your hips forward. Even more. Even more. Bring it forward. Shorten your core. Good. And hold that position. Good. Balance. Can we breathe into it? How much muscle do I need to do this? And slowly lower the leg and back to center. Good. One more. Other side. Left leg. Turn. Curl the toes under. Right knee, 90-degree angle. We are stacking hips and shoulders in one long line on top of each other. Good. I always like to feel my sacrum in my lower back because I can bring awareness that I'm not sticking out my bottom and not lifting up and flaring my chest. This is not a back bend here. I want stability. So core, core, core. And then slowly lift up the left leg. Shift a little bit more body weight onto that right leg. Heel is
the leader of this movement. We're lifting with the heel, not with the foot. It's so easy to do this the opposite way. Heel lifts up, heel lifts up. Keep holding. Now notice your core. Is it engaged or is it relaxed? And slowly lower down, back to center. Yeah? All right, I hope you felt it. I hope you felt, wow, there's so much to learn, so much detail to remember, and so much fine-tuning that we can do so that I can determine, is this a core exercise or not? All right, last one. Let's bring it up to one more notch. Table position, right leg extends. This time, we do not turn the left leg in. We keep it where it is. And we ground the back heel and keep the left knee, the left foot, ankle, and the middle part of my right leg in one long line. Yes, there it is. Yes, I want you to stack the hips. Good. And from here, shift the body weight onto your arm and see if you can lift up the right leg. Yes. And keep the left foot on the ground exactly where it is. Reach up the right arm. And we're getting quite a bit of a similar position like half moon pose. Very, very similar. And slowly lower down. Now look at your left foot. Has it changed its position? Oops, my microphone is falling out here. Has it changed its position? If yes, we need to bring it back in. Let's do this one more time on this side. Shift your body weight. Good. One long line. And slowly lift up. Good. Heel is leading the way. Lift up the arm and find your balance. Deep breath. Find your balance, yeah? Again, looks like nothing much. Good. And slowly lower back down. Keep your core engaged. And other side. Very, very good. Okay, let's do it on the other side. I'm sweating and my microphone is shifting. I hope you can still hear me. All right, other side. Here we go. Last time, and then we're done. Heel towards the back. Table position. Remember, setting ourselves up into a position that you want to control. Not the position is just controlling you, yeah? Heel, left heel, 90-degree angle. Stack your hips on top of each other. So this really is very challenging for most of us because it has to rotate out in the hip socket. So instead of sticking the bottom out, yeah, and make this somehow bearable, work on bringing the hips forward into one straight long line. This is it maybe, but this is it today. Yeah, and then we shift our weight a little bit more onto the arm and lift up the left leg. Again, the heel is leading the way. Deep breath. In and exhale. Slowly lower down the leg. Take one breath in. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Reach up high, stretch out through the left fingertips. Good, shoulder blades away from the ears. And one more time, core engagement. I know some of you hopefully think, I don't really know how to engage my core. Good, if you're at that point, I'm here to help, yeah? This is going to be a whole new class. So left leg, heel is lifting. Stay stacked in your hips. In your shoulders. Deep breath. Keep balancing. How does it feel when we're unstable, when we're uncertain, when we're about to fall, but we have to catch ourselves, when it counts? Does this count? Yes, it counts. And lower down and back to center. Yeah. Good. Deep breath. So, a lot of you won't be able to enjoy this as much in the beginning. This will be a little bit of a journey, but there is a beautiful progression of things that we can practice, yeah? But it won't be enough to just pick and choose, oh, I might be able to do this, or maybe I do this, this looks good. If you train yourself in a way by looking at exercises and saying, this looks good, I like this exercise, I want to be able to do it. There is no meaning to it, yeah? And while many practice like that, which is wonderful, the meaning might be that I want to master this exercise is fine. But if you practice yoga, to give you something that can change the trajectory of your life, we got to start where we are, and we have a starting point, an assessment, and we are looking at where we're going, and then we are picking the appropriate path, the progression of how we're going there. Yeah, and that for me is personal yoga, and that's what I offer. And I think it is mostly for people who realize that yes, I can have a lot of control over the way how I feel, the health of my body, my confidence, or the way how I want to flow through life. But I have to do it in a way that fits me, that has the history of me, that is geared towards how I can develop and how I can grow. So we have to start at one lesson and then slowly keep going up. And this is very individual, and it's lovely. It's beautiful to see, look back one year and say, wow, this is where we were last year, and this year we are at a completely different place, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually and especially emotionally as well. All right, Shavasana time. Please don't skip it. Yeah, I know some of you are thinking, oh, we don't need that, I don't want to relax now. Yes, you do. So lay down, even if it's just for 2 minutes. Yeah, lay down on your back one more time. We want to end the work that we have practiced. So instead of just getting up and going into our day, we have learned, we have stimulated so much in our nervous system, in the systems that actually govern our movement. And so to take a few moments, lay on your back. You can keep your knees bent if you like, or go into full Shavasana with both legs extended, whichever is good for you. Close your eyes and allow the body to settle back down and to take all the information, all the many things that we have experienced, and get them to a place where we can remember them, where they are there for us, so that next class we practice is not just gone. Yeah, one of the things that I always looked at in the classes that I taught, these like bigger group classes, is that people don't remember from one class to the next what we have done, and that has always hurt me and made me very sad as a teacher, because the beauty of this practice is when you start to see progression. But progression is really a very deliberate path that you're walking. And so my nugget for today, don't skip Shavasana, because here in these moments where you're relaxed on the ground, the body does a lot of things to take everything that we have learned, and don't let it just dissipate because we can't focus on it. Stay with it for another moment. Everything we have learned today, hopefully the questions that have come up, things that you noticed and said, I don't really know what I'm doing here and why I'm doing this and how do I get there. There is a saying that says, if I don't know where I'm going, any path will do. And I think this is a beautiful sentence that can make us aware of how often we do things without awareness, without a real serious and deep intention to focus. And without that focus, we will always just stay on the surface. And very, very often, this surface does not give us the changes and the things that we are looking for in life. And our yoga practice is no different. So I'm inviting you to dive with me a little bit deeper. Maybe you dive just a couple of meters down and then a little bit deeper, and you will see how the colors change, how the light changes, and there is stillness, there is space, there is freedom, and that freedom allows us to see things that on the surface we can't see. So we slowly bring the knees into our chest one more time. And roll in a little circular motion. Let the knees open up to the side, extend the legs, bend the knees again, and roll over to your right side. And we slowly lift ourselves up over the side of our elbows and hands and come into our last seated position. Good. All right. We bring our palms to the center of our heart. I hope that I have been able to interest you a little bit deeper into balance, and not just physically, but to make you curious about body awareness, about learning how to choose the way how we want to move, about positioning and postures, about conscious awareness and how we move, about breathing in balancing poses, about the role of the core that you hopefully saw plays a huge role in our balancing work. And I hope to get you awakened to the fact that a graceful body and a graceful posture and graceful movements are not the result of just being born with it or just having it, but they are the result of long and dedicated and passionate training. And that's what I hope I can inspire you to. All right, I will see you next class. I will be here till the end of the month. I hope to see you again. Whoever watches this on replay, remember that you can always stop and start and go back and just dig a little bit deeper into the places that you need to review. This is a glimpse of the work that I offer to my clients and in my group classes. And hopefully you want to start digging and diving a little bit deeper. I will see you next class. Namaste.